Ahoy, crew members. Today we're looking at a Jesse Lee Peterson interview that moves fast and makes big claims about feminism, identity and responsibility. I'll pause along the way to point out contradictions, logical fallacies, and a few ideas that don't quite survive contact with reality. Let's get into it.
How is Native Feminist Theory different from feminism?
Because we talk about settler colonialism.
What does that mean?
We talk about the colonization of the United States, right? And how it's a settler colony, how, settlers came here to stay, right? And to take over, not just to be here.
Right.
So white feminism doesn't have that feature. And we actually all talk, Native feminism talks about hope and about trying to find a different way to be in the world. I feel like it's a very different kind of philosophy. We're actually not just interested in victimhood, because if we were, right, that would be, we would never get anywhere with that.
But who came up with this? Who decided, let me call it Native Feminist Theory? Who came up with it? And don't you have to be high to come up with stuff like that, like hallucinating?
No, I think it's brilliant, and I'm very proud to be a part of that field.
Did you make up that theory?
No, I did. I'm just part of it.
Who made it up?
I mean,
go get your money back. I don't know how you sit around and you come up with ideas like that. You have to be hallucinating with the peyote or on some pot.
No, that's actually not true.
But you don't know who created this idea?
Well, I'm not sure who I want to give credit to for that. Because, that's the thing. There's actually a long history of Native feminisms, right? Do you talk about the Native women who were, because that's the thing, Native nations, men and women have different roles, and there's also two-spirited people, queer people in the nation. So everybody just has different roles. It's not like one is better than the other, right? Because you need somebody home, farming, taking care of the children, right? Preparing the food, doing their little gardens and stuff. And, men can go out and do warfare and go get beasts and stuff So, I feel like these things are complementary. It wasn't about one is better than the other. It was.
We're told gender is completely fluid, defined entirely by belief. If you believe you're a woman, you are one. No biology, no structure, no boundaries. But just minutes earlier, we're told Native societies had complementary roles for men, women, and two-spirited people. Complementary roles only work if categories are stable enough to complement each other. If gender is purely subjective, those traditional roles collapse. So which is it, fluid identity or structured tradition? You can't have both. This is a straight conceptual contradiction, depending on which claim sounds better in the moment.
I want to ask you this really fast. You said that homosexuality is normal to you.
Yes.
And LGBTQ and all that is normal.
Yes.
And so if a man put on a dress and lipstick and say that he is a woman, is he really a woman, or he just think he is, but in reality he is not?
If he believes he's a woman, if she believes she's a woman, she's a woman. So.
But in reality, it's not. You just believe that.
It depends on, I believe that they get to be what they want to be.
But would you see a man, a woman in a pantsuit and saying that she's a man, but you see, with your eyes, you see as a woman, would you pretend that it is a man?
I would ask how they wanted to have their gender identified.
And you pretend that it's whatever they say?
I would respectfully believe that I'm going to respect their beliefs to identify as they wish.
But in your mind, you know it's not real.
It's real. It's real to me if it's real for them. So.
In your mind.
Do you think I'm passing as a woman right now?
Are you?
Am I a woman?
You just made me nervous, are you?
I don't know.
You don't know what you is?
Well, I'm just saying.
What you is. That's black. You don't know what you are? You don't know what you is? You don't know what you are?
No, I identify as a woman.
And why?
Because, that's how I want to identify.
Did God make you that way?
I don't think God made me that way. I think that
Were you born a woman or a female?
I was born a woman.
Oh, okay. Is there a difference between Native American women and white women?
I think Native women are better looking.
Better looking than white women? Ooh.
No, I always say that to my students. I'm like, if you learn one thing about Native people, it's that we're very good looking.
Are Native women better looking than black women?
I don't know.
Why you don't know that?
Well, because I'm like, I'm not gonna the race, different other race stuff.
You scared to say that about the blacks.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not messing with black people. So I'm
you
with
gonna have
them.
Black Lives Matter burning down your house if you say.
Well, and I mean, it really does depend, obviously.
What does it mean to decolonize the native body?
Well, that's a very detailed question, right? Because one of the things, of boarding schools and of colonization period was to try to make it seem that our bodies are like nasty and not good, right? That they're unclean, they're filthy, right? So I think one of the things we need to do is to start thinking about like how our bodies are good, how we are good people, like how all of us is actually beautiful, instead of like trying to go to like white beauty standards or like not accepting ourselves as we are.
And so are white people making you feel inferior like that?
I'm not blaming that on, I mean, it's like, it's part of our culture. Our culture is very white dominated, right? It has very specific white standards of beauty.
So the white, quote unquote, dominated culture are making you and Indians feel less about their culture, less beauty, or they are making you feel that way.
Well, I'm just saying, when you have all the shows, like all the books, almost everything about Native people is very distorted or negative or doesn't actually have anything to do with us, has to do with actually with white people, then it's hard to feel good about your own self and your own body.
Pause right here. We're told Native Feminist Theory is about hope and moving beyond victimhood, but listen to what follows. Nearly every explanation relies on settler colonialism, white dominance, and structural oppression. That's a contradiction. You can't say we're not victims while framing outcomes entirely through victim-based explanations. If every problem is caused by an external system, then personal agency disappears. And without agency, hope becomes marketing, not substance. This is a rhetorical bait and switch. Reject victimhood in theory, reinforce it in practice. If empowerment is the goal, where exactly does responsibility enter the picture?
Stepfather.
I'm talking about your real father, though.
Well, I mean, I have no idea.
But just when you think about it, when you smoke on it, do you believe that? Do you believe that if you were close to your father, he was there, your mother and father were together, you loved your father, that white people or anyone can make you feel inferior?
No, I don't think that has anything to do with it.
You think you would still feel inferior?
I don't feel inferior.
But the Indians that white people make them feel that way, if they were raised as with two parents, decent examples, would they still be made to feel inferior?
Well, I think we should talk about why they don't get to be two-parent households, right?
Because they're not getting married.
Well, also because, like, Native men, like black men, are incarcerated at very high rates. They're like serving our nation overseas.
They're committing crimes.
So, well, I mean, we're more likely to get caught too.
Right, and go to jail because they don't have money to get good lawyers.
Exactly.
So that ain't the white man's fault.
Well, I think it is, actually.
So the white man to blame for everything.
Well, the thing is, no, I mean, because what I'm trying to say too is, like, working class white people are also not able to get like good lawyers, right?
Right.
But the racial profiling might not go, they might not get pulled over for being, driving while white, right?
But that's not true. That's made up. What the blacks are doing.
Well, that's what you and I completely disagree about that.
No,
so.
I'm black.
I know you're black.
I'm as black as the ace of spades.
Well, how many times have you been pulled over?
In my entire life?
Maybe
I'm just twice.
Saying,
I remember twice.
Yeah. I mean, and you don't think racial profiling had anything to do with those situations?
Not one iota.
So.
Because I was raised different than the other blacks. I wasn't raised to hate the whites, blame other people. I wasn't born out of wedlock. I had my stepfather, my mother got married before I was born, so I wouldn't be born out of wedlock. But black people, when I was growing up, black people got married. They believed in God. Mm-hmm. They loved all people. They treated everybody the same. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't blamed. I wasn't raised in a victim mentality. And so when I was stopped by the cops, I followed the instructions. Mm-hmm. They did what they needed to do. They said, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And they went their way. But the blacks today are acting out. They're cursing out the cops. They're running. They're criminals. They're running. What do you think going to happen?
Well,
How is that the cops' fault?
Well, I mean, it's very much. I mean, that's the thing, though. We're talking about structural inequalities that go back before the beginning of the United States. And you're not just going to, like, pretend that these things don't exist. You can. That's one of the ways you can go about
What
this.
did you say?
Structural inequalities.
What did that have to do with anything?
Well, if it's way harder for you to get housing, to get a job, to go to college, to have any ways to get ahead, that will make your life much harder to be like successful in the
So
U.S.
are you
version.
saying that it's harder for the Indians or the blacks to get a job?
For both of us.
But the blacks don't get the job because they don't want the job. They're lazy.
I mean, that I disagree. I
I'm
mean,
telling you.
they say the same thing about Indians.
Because and the Indians are that way too. You know why? Because the white people made a mistake by giving the Indians too much free stuff.
We did not get anything free. They
y'all
stole
got free
everything.
land.
No, that land was ours.
Free gambling clubs and all kinds of stuff.
Well, you know, because we're sovereign nations, we get to decide what we want to do on our nations.
But that makes you lazy, though.
I disagree.
And one thing about white people, they love to work. You notice that?
That's not what I've seen. They love to steal.
What did they steal?
Our land, like our culture. Like they try to assimilate us. They wouldn't accept that we are the way we are. Like, I mean, I could keep, instilled heteropatriarchy. I mean, all these different things that were very violent systems.
What do y'all want now from the whites? What do you want them to give you?
We've been wanting them to leave us alone for a long time.
But they don't bother you guys. You guys chase them.
They do bother us.
How do they bother you now?
They come in and they'll put nuclear waste on our nations without permission. I mean, there's still all these things happening. They will try to put pipelines through our nations.
That's amazing.
Even though we disagree.
But that would provide jobs.
Well, at the cost of destroying the land,
But they're not doing anything with the land anyway.
Well, we don't want a pipeline going over the water source of the whole nation.
Well,
Does that make sense? Especially when
something.
the White Town was like, don't put it through our country, right?
Watch this move carefully. High incarceration rates, structural inequality. Cultural breakdown, structural inequality. Personal outcomes, still structural inequality. That's a single cause fallacy. Complex social problems are reduced to one external explanation, while behavior, culture, and incentives are completely ignored. When one cause explains everything, it explains nothing. And here's the problem. If individuals aren't responsible for outcomes, they also aren't capable of fixing them. That's not empowerment, that's dependency wrapped in moral language.
Don't put it through our place, put it on the Indians' land, and that's exactly what they ended up doing.
I need you to define something for me. Heteropatriarchy. What is that?
It's exactly what you think it might be. It's like patriarchy, but then making sure we're talking about heterosexuality.
Straight
too.
men.
So, just straightness, period.
Heterosexual men are supposed to bring women and children out of the hell that they're in. That's why it's heteropatriarchy.
Well, they're failing, so you better get it together.
Because you guys are acting so rebelling.
Well, then you all are not doing a very good job, so.
I agree. The men are weak because the mama destroyed them when they were kids.
Well, I feel like we have to work together. I don't know why that would be such a bad thing.
Heteropatriarchy, so you're in favor of that?
No.
You're against that?
I critique it, yes. Well, I don't think I'm not completely, people can go and do that, but the fact it creates all this inequality that's the part I think is messed up.
You love heterosexual?
Do I love I don't prefer men, so.
Oh, you like women?
I like different types of people, so.
You mess around with women though?
Yes.
You a lesbian?
Yes, I identify as queer woman.
You a lesbian?
Yeah, you didn't. How did you not get this from your research? I do queer indigenous theory. That's my other thing.
But I didn't know you were a lesbian.
Well, I identify as being queer.
But you don't look like a lesbian.
Well, what are we
No
supposed
wonder
to
you don't
look
want to
like?
have a baby.
Because I have more options.
You are a lesbian?
Yes. I mean, yeah, you could. identify as queer, but.
A queer lesbian.
Well, lesbian has its own.
I'm stunned that you're a lesbian.
So, I don't live in the suburbs or.
But why you look so feminine if you're a lesbian?
Because that's the way I choose to, to be in the world.
To be feminine.
To
like
be
a
feminine.
lady.
To be, yeah.
And so do you like hard lesbians?
It depends on the person. Yeah.
You like lesbians that act like men?
It really depends on who it is. So.
Wow.
I mean, I also just really love beautiful women of all kinds of types. So,
But not that much love.
so. Well, I guess I do.
You have just blown me away. I was blown away once before. I was interviewing a white male Catholic kind of a guy, and he had his collar on, and I never thought of him as a homosexual.
Right.
And then he said to me he was a homosexual. I'm like, you're a homosexual? And then when he was sitting, it made me take focus my eyes, and I saw that he was homosexual.
Because we said it different. Like,
Yeah. So how do the lesbians know that you're a lesbian?
I mean, I don't know.
So when you're out at the bar, do you like wear your lesbian hat or something?
I mean, I guess you do kind of sense that somebody might be, queer, I guess. So, or not. You just ask people, right?
So what is it like knowing that you surprised me right now, that you're a lesbian, but you don't look like it, you don't act like it?
All right, crew, we'll cut it there. Big theories, bold claims, but a lot of internal contradictions once you slow things down and apply logic. If you enjoy breaking arguments apart instead of just nodding along, hit subscribe and drop your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, think clearly.